Hello everyone, thank you very much for inviting me. Just so you have a sense of where I am, I'm in Leeds in the UK where it's currently very sunny. As Stavros mentioned, I'm a landscape architect and I lead the landscape architecture business in Arup. We work on a wide range of projects from strategy to design to implementation, and all of our projects have nature-based solutions at their heart. Right, I've got 10 minutes, so I'm going to move quite quickly. I think nature-based solutions and more sustainable ways of planning and design are growing in influence. This is reflected in the increasing body of research and also the number of international, national, regional and local policy initiatives we see. But I think most of us would agree, although that we need to be more successful in acting on this research and this policy and deliver more projects that feature nature-based solutions. So the question really is, how can we deliver more and what are the barriers? I would say that business as usual is a barrier, as many people can find it hard to make change. And we have to make change because business as usual is not a sustainable way forward. And we do need to make some drastic changes to the built environment and rural environments to make healthier and resilient places. Business as usual, it's easier for many people to keep doing the same thing. And this is also tied into the current economic model that tends to look at short-term gains when we need to think long-term. I also think in many locations, another barrier is that we're not taking climate change seriously enough. We know that planning in nature-based solutions is a key really to creating resilience in both rural and urban areas. And I do believe that climate change still remains the inconvenient truth. You may be familiar with the wide range of benefits that nature-based systems deliver, and this is understood by many, but is it widely enough understood so that nature-based solutions become critical in the planning and design or the retrofitting of environments? To me, it doesn't seem so yet. And of course, we're not just talking about environmental benefits, social benefits, and economic benefits. There's also the psychological benefit, which has been very well researched, of daily contact with nature for humans and the importance of that in terms of quality of life. So nature-based solutions seem to still be thought of in many quarters as a nice to have and not an essential or critical to the quality of life. To achieve successful nature-based solutions, new techniques are required, new training, new skills to build and maintain new natural systems. And this again is a barrier for some. They find this extremely challenging, though for others it can create jobs and a green economy, of course. And that's the wonderful Bosco Verticale there. For nature-based solutions to be successful, we also need to retrofit it into existing environments and also include it as new build. So again, this is part of planning nature-based solutions at the start as an integral and equal component in the way that we build new parts of the city. But the retrofitting part is also extremely important. And again, this is a barrier. Who pays, who leads on this retrofitting, and this is especially challenging in times of great fiscal restraint and with austerity, etc. And finally on this section, a barrier is that no one profession really leads nature-based solutions. I mean, as a landscape architect, we're heavily involved in it on all of our projects, but some of the difficulties really in terms of achieving good solutions is that many organisations tend to work in silos, just focusing on their work. Whereas what we need are much more integrated approaches, partnership working to gain the mutual benefits. And this is about bringing authorities, policymakers, researchers, developers, businesses, communities, and consultants together behind a common aim. And that in itself is no easy feat. It takes an enormous amount of energy. And to achieve more, we must make a strong business case for nature-based solutions. And this can be around the following. and nature-based solutions are multifunctional, they deliver multiple benefits as we've discussed. Nature-based solutions can deliver resilience to climate change, and they're often cheaper to both install and maintain than traditional grey systems. And we need to sell nature-based solutions as a high-performance infrastructure that needs to be planned and designed in equal partnership with other critical infrastructure, transport, water, energy, digital waste, and so on. So it's getting people to think differently about it. And of course, we need to do this because it offers an important way to deliver more sustainable development, which are described by the United Nations Sustainability Development Goals. And this includes a means to take action against climate change and create healthier places for people. I have some quick case studies here. How do successful nature-based solutions schemes come about? I think sometimes they're reactive and they respond to a crisis. And we've just heard from Matt about an excellent presentation on heat. A good example of reaction to heat is the London Green Grid, which developed from a series of heat waves and their adverse impact on population health and the London economy at the start of the 21st century. And this grid is designed to link green and blue across the city. So to provide flood protection, shade, biodiversity, space for cycling, walking and recreation, and a more attractive environment. It's been extended now to look to support huge population growth in London that's expected. At the moment, the city is 8.5 million. The population could grow up to possibly 13 million by 2050. And this is NBS as a means to support quality of life across a large city. So this is a good example that shows how NBS needs to be designed at this very, very large scale all the way down. It really needs to work at lots of different scales. Another good example is in Madrid. Like many cities suffering chronic air pollution from too much traffic. This is another serious problem we all have. And for the Madrid-Rio project, they invested in burying 43 kilometres of urban motorway to create new space for people and nature-based systems above. And you can see here, this is the park above that buried motorway. And here, nature-based solutions delivering more attractive and healthier environments for locals, visitors, and of course, economic gain for the city by boosting tourism and the attractiveness of the city. Sometimes nature-based solutions are not driven by crises, but by more proactive approaches. The Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park in London, which I had the pleasure of working on, is a good example of integrating in nature-based solutions from the start. And the park was a centerpiece of the Games, but now it's acting as a catalyst to help drive the legacy redevelopment around it. And it's been a huge success. This is an area of London that had very, very little green space, and the visitor numbers have exceeded all expectations. But what the park does really well is build in other aspects of functionality. So in other words, you can see here the flood protection and biodiversity built in. You can see the raised footpaths and then these areas which will temporarily flood. I think in the first 2 years, the park flooded something like 9 times. An incentive for this project, Green City Clean Waters in Philadelphia, was financial. This is a great example of a project that moved from a traditional, expensive, grey engineering solutions to deal with stormwater pollution in a different way. So the city started a whole program to recreate a living landscape at the surface to slow, filter and consume rainfall. And they looked at streets, pavements, roofs, school grounds, parks, parking lots. They're all being greened, converted, and moving from impermeable to permeable. And this program has been a great community success. It's brought people and communities together. It's well created a green job economy for the city and has attracted workers and firms to the city. And there's another point to be made here, that if we want to deliver good nature-based solutions, we need incremental delivery. This means that resources can be focused on an end goal and finances can be spread over time. And since 2011 in Philadelphia, over 1,100 projects have been completed. And by the time the scheme is complete, the volume of stormwater reduction will be 85% of volume of what used to go into the city drainage system. So, I mean, I think this is a tremendous project. Another positive nature-based solutions project is the car-free master plan for Vauban district in Germany. And the striking thing here for me is what happens when you take the car out of the equation. Suddenly, you have more space for nature-based solutions, and you instantly get great results and environments that we all would like to live in. Final two slides. Even small spaces that feature nature-based solutions can create great benefits. This is a pocket park we built as part of our Invest in Arup work. We decided we were going to build something because we do lots of top-down strategy thinking. We thought, well, we'll go ground up and see if we can get a project on the ground, which we achieved. This is a temporary pop-up park on a street near our office in London. It's now being, it started out as temporary, but it's now the course for it to be permanent. This was all achieved through partnership working with the local business improvement district, a street furniture manufacturer, and the local authority. And I think another technique, I think, to achieve more is to measure the benefits. And this is where research is so very important. And we measured the benefits of this park using social return on investment specialists. And we could report increases in self-reported well-being, greater dwell times, successful local businesses, and we had 100% support for the users of the parklet. And that was one small park in a street in London. And all I can say is if we can multiply that up over a city, think what we could do.